Is anyone else fed up with the price of groceries? Spent $210 at Walmart and it didn't even get its meat or anything yet. And that was over my budget and I had to use my credit card. But now I don't have money for gas and my car's on empty. Does anyone else just want to give up on life? It can't be just me who thinks they need to go get a second, third, or fourth job to just be able to afford groceries. I have to buy groceries every 2 weeks. No matter how much I try to cut back, it's still $500-$600, and I'm drowning. It is so stressful. My kids have to eat, my bills have to be paid. Man, I just wish something would give.
Just thinking this morning about our country and late-stage capitalism and cost of living and how much money everyone has to make to even afford to have a family these days. And it's what, like $250,000 minimum? Yeah, John and I have 2 kids and we don't make close to that. Not even close. Try like at least $100,000 less than that. So we're barely making it. And we have 2 good high-paying jobs as an electrical engineer and a nurse. Now, everyone always says, like, they make so much money, you guys should be doing so much better. They don't make that much money, okay? And the fact that the wages haven't gone up with inflation means we've been getting pay cuts.
Family, on my FYP, I'm seeing more and more white people complain over the high cost of living. Family, you notice that most of these people thought that problems and poverty were only connected to black folks. That's why they chose fascism. That's why they chose authoritarianism in the government of the United States of America, thinking the interests of white folks would be put to place while the marginalized groups, including black and brown populations in America, will continue to suffer while the white people, continue to thrive. But family, that is where most of them messed up. They thought that poverty was only connected to black and brown communities. They thought that that was a problem of the marginalized groups. But family, right now, they are getting a FAFO moment. They are realizing that they've been played all this time. They chose the wrong leaders in the expense of rightful leaders because they had racist ideologies in their heads. Family, right now, everyone is being affected, not only the black folk. Even the white people are being affected right now in America. That is what I call the heavy cost of racism. Racism has been very, very expensive in America, and maintaining it has started to defeat many white families because, the cost of living right now in America is skyrocketing and it is affecting everyone. That's why we are seeing more and more white people coming up crying, saying how much this thing is affecting them. Black folks are used to this. They know how they work their way, to try and sort these problems. White people thought that this was not a white problem, but right now, it's becoming crazier as days goes by. So fam, in this video, you listen to white folks as they complain how the high economy, the inflation has been affecting them, considering their wages are still maintaining in a time where inflation is so high. Family, once the video is done, we will get back and do a critical analysis. And before we watch the video, in a special way, I want to thank my subscribers who are supporting the channel through buying me a coffee. The link is on the description. Let's watch the video, then we'll be right back. Thank you, fam.
Here's a hot take. A lot of people are staying single, men especially, because they don't want to be a burden financially. Because life right now is so stinking expensive. Like the cost of living, whether you're renting an apartment or paying a mortgage, it outweighs monthly with all your bills added up. Electric, water, your phone bill, absolutely everything you can think of, your car payment. It all adds up, and nobody wants to be a financial burden. If you have credit card payments, if you have college payments, they don't want to bring that baggage to their partner, so they'd rather struggle alone, which is so sad, but that's the truth. You could work, I just watched a video of a guy talking about how he makes $70,000 a year, and it's still financially hard, which 70 grand is a lot of money in this day and age still. I mean, 70 grand where I'm from, that's a lot of money. Imagine being a school teacher. It's unrealistic. Or having children. That guy was single. Have children in this day and age. It's hard out here. That's why everyone is single. That's why I'm single too. I'm not looking. Nobody's looking.
Just thinking this morning about our country and late stage capitalism and cost of living and how much money everyone has to make to even afford to have a family these days. And it's what, like $250,000 minimum? Yeah, John and I have 2 kids and we don't make close to that. Not even close. Try like at least $100,000 less than that. So we're barely making it. And we have 2 good high-paying jobs as an electrical engineer and a nurse. Now, everyone always says, like, they make so much money, you guys should be doing so much better. They don't make that much money, okay? And the fact that the wages haven't gone up with inflation means we've been getting pay cuts basically the last 4 years. So we're not doing okay. Nobody's doing okay in this economy. This is what we're so upset about. And then you add in authoritarianism and fascism on top of that. Like, what kind of country are we leaving for our kids where we teach them it's okay that they go to school and then their friends are missing the next day because they were rounded up by ICE? This is not an okay world. This is what I don't want to leave my kids. This is what I want to protect them from. This is one of the reasons why we're moving to Europe. I'm tired of it. I haven't even touched on healthcare. That's a whole other story that we've spent over $10,000 a year on for the last 4 years. Childcare. $24,000 a year. Just so that I can go to work and not spend time with my kids. It's fucking insane. How does anybody live in this world? Like, how does anybody make that $250,000 every single year to just, like, be okay? I don't know anyone else except for, like, doctors who are doing fine. What are we going towards? What is the end goal here? Like, is anybody else as upset as I am seeing everything that's going on? I mean, I'm just ranting this morning. Sometimes I'm just getting in my thoughts and my feels, and I can't believe that this is the reality that we're living in right now.
My work just hired a new employee, and he is 26. Actually, he'll be 26 in October. He has a master's degree. He worked 2 internships prior to this job, and he just took this job for $17 an hour. The job does require a bachelor's degree, and even that I think is crazy that they're expecting someone that most likely has student loans to accept a job for $17 an hour. And I asked him, why is he taking this position? And he said because he has been applying for 6 months, can't even get any interviews, and it's a way for him to start. He said he thought that with the internships that he did, that he would for sure land a job, but he did not. Is it just me, or is it actually crazy that people are going to school for 6 and 7 years to earn these degrees? And it's not like he has some BS degree. He has like a good degree, and they're starting out making $17 an hour. Like that, I mean, $17 an hour is what fast food employees are working. Nothing against fast food workers, because I mean, that's where everyone starts out, but to think that these companies are getting away with paying people $17 an hour is beyond me.
Well, it's July 1st, and I am short on rent again. I'm a caretaker for a disabled child, and his family was supposed to pay me on Friday, and they did not. I sent them a reminder text because they frequently forget, and they have not acknowledged it, and I needed the bulk of that paycheck to pay my rent this month. I had a lot of extra expenses this month, so I needed like $500 of that paycheck to make my rent this month, and now I don't have it. And I know it's not that big of a deal. They'll probably remember in a day or two, and I won't even get a late fee to like the end of the week, but I just don't want to be in this position anymore. Like, I am so tired of living literally paycheck to paycheck. I'm so stressed all the time. I'm gonna have a heart attack before I turn 30. And now I don't know why I'm telling strangers on the internet. They're just gonna tell me that I'm fucking a failure or whatever.
Okay, I just got done with Walmart. If you saw my video just a little bit ago about how much I spent for just 29 items. I had to use my credit card because I couldn't afford it. I'm a single mom. Come on, people. Trump, everybody, lower the grocery bills. We gotta eat. We gotta feed our kids. Come on, really take this seriously. Trump, the administration, anybody listening, please lower the grocery bills. We can hardly afford this stuff anymore. Thank you and bye. This is my rant for the day of Saturday.
5 days since I have been able to eat anything. Why, may you ask? Why haven't you eaten 5 days, Courtney? Well, because Donald Trump decided to change the rules when you collect welfare benefits, food stamps, cash assistance, Section 8, disability, whatever it is. So I have been cut off. I have never worked a day in my life. I have 6 kids, 6 mouths to feed, 4 baby daddies. Okay, I don't receive child support. I don't have any income. I've never had a job. I'm not ever going to have a job. I don't want a job. The whole point of having the kids was to get government benefits. I have been collecting almost $10,000 a month in government benefits for 13 years. And now they just strip it from me. They take it from me. How the hell am I supposed to feed my kids? How? How am I supposed to pay rent? This is bullshit. Not only that, I have over 335,000 followers, and not one person has offered to help me. What's the point of having all these followers if they don't care, right? It is your responsibility as a taxpayer to support me and my kids. So, support me.
So Americans don't want to live in America anymore. Let's talk about it. I think it's a very normal feeling right now that people don't want to live here. I mean, the idea of the American dream is just gone, and everyone in my comment section says the American dream now is to leave America, and that seems to be a resounding sentiment all throughout the internet right now. People want to go. People want to go somewhere else. This doesn't feel like it's it for us. This doesn't feel like it's good for us. And by us, I mean anybody. If you're not in the top 10, the top 5% of this country feels like it's not a place where you can make it, because for the most part, it isn't a place that you can make it. The working poor and the working class are struggling just to stay off the streets, and there's no respite to come. There's no support from the government. There's no support from our neighbors because we don't know them. Our families are broken, so we have no one to fall back to. It just feels hopeless for a lot of people. So of course, there's a natural feeling that I want to go find my peace, my happy life, wherever I can. And it doesn't feel like we can have that in America for a lot of us. And that's why you're seeing people all over TikTok, all over YouTube say that they're leaving the country. They want to leave the country and just go. You know, they don't care what the destination is. They just want to go. I think that this is actually something that really hits to the core of our American past, to actually, go forth and find your place in the world. And I don't begrudge anybody, nor should you, who is pursuing that kind of peace in their life.
Family, these very same complaints will continue in America if white folks still choose fascism and authoritarianism over rightful leaders, because many a times they look at leadership from a racist side. They look at it from a racist angle, trying to ensure that their interests are, as white folks, their white privileges are still put in place. But family, now times are changing. Even with the white privilege, you must pay for the high cost of living. You must pay for the very high cost, of groceries in America. You still pay for electricity the very same way as the black folk. You could have gotten an opportunity, economically. We understand that white folks have more opportunities economically compared to the black counterparts. But at the end of the day, from whatever you're getting, are you able to sustain yourself? We're seeing more and more white people cry and say they are living paycheck to paycheck. This is all thanks to choosing the wrong leaders. Family, I'd repeat this time and again because I have noticed that racism is the biggest problem in America. Racist ideologies is actually something that is eating the white pockets very, very much because the cost of racism is very, very expensive. Imagine surviving in America with no racism. Life would be very, very cheap. There'd actually be universal healthcare. You know, some of these things were being deprived of Americans because they thought that also black folks would be able to benefit from these same programs. They thought that if they push the universal healthcare, black people will also benefit from the same, and they did not deserve to benefit. And that is where they messed up. They messed up the very same way when it came to education. Look at the tuition fees. Very, very expensive. They wanted to deny access to education from black folks. Family, right now, it's even expensive for a white family to pay for their school fees. Family, right now in America, there is a rise of single people. You know, people do not want to get married. Young men are afraid of being able to take care of women because of the very high cost of living. They are afraid of getting married. Well, the people who are married are there because they want to cost share these crazy bills to be able to coexist and live peacefully. Family, I'd imagine today, if probably these prices are put down, you know, some of these families will actually fall out. You know, some people are just surviving because the cost of living is very, very high, and this is thanks to the people who voted MAGA. The white families who thought that when they vote for Donald Trump, life would be easier in America. Right now, it's affecting everyone. When you look at these historically, white folks have always chosen, you know, the wrong leaders because they wanted, you know, to protect the white privilege that they've always had. But family, I want to challenge people in this coming election that things are different. Even with your white privilege, you'll be highly affected. Look at right now what is happening in America with Medicare and Medicaid. Each and every person who depends on this cover will have to go deeper into their pockets, especially people who have parents and grandparents in nursing homes. You'd pay between $8,000 and $15,000 per month to ensure that now you are able to cater for these fees because now there's no any nursing home that is ready to take in, you know, the little cover in the Medicaid to settle the bills in the hospital. They'd rather people pay in cash. You know, this is just but one sector that has been affected. There are actually many other sectors that have in turn been affected. Look at how they're spending monies from these cuts in critical sectors and pumping the very same funds to programs like ICE programs. You know, they are giving ICE over 100 billion, you know, in cash to try and build the ICE detention centers. Some of these agendas do not actually impact America in a positive way in any way. While they are cutting monies in serious sectors like Medicare and Medicaid, sectors like FEMA, you know, and now they're pumping this cash to areas that does not benefit, you know, the normal American. Inflation is going too high. The cost of groceries is very high. Electricity is so high. People are unable even to buy gas for their cars. Things are just becoming unbearable. And this is thanks to the white people who actually voted their self-interest before they even thought of their future. They did not see this one coming. You know, price of groceries is actually very high. People can't afford gas, and people are actually giving up in life. You know, many Americans are saying enough is enough. They are actually giving up. People are living paycheck to paycheck. Electricity bills so high. It's very expensive to have a family, and people are preferring being single. Couples can't be able to pay for their bills, both of them working two jobs. Imagine a couple in a family working two jobs, and both of them cannot be able to come up with a wholesome fund that can be able to sustain, you know, the family for a month. That just shows you how crazily expensive things are right now in America. The fact that wages are not going up with inflation means Americans are getting pay cuts. While the wages are constant and inflation is high and higher, that means you guys are getting pay cuts, and that is very, very bad. This thanks to white folks who chose fascism, chose authoritarianism, chose racist ideologies. That is what is actually affecting Americans today. And family, people are living in a time where they're just finding out, let me use far for the lack of a better word. There's a far from moment right now. People are struggling in America, especially white folks who actually depended on the government to be able to help them in various sectors. For us black people, many of the black folks knew that this was coming. Black people have always been used of struggling in America economically. When you look at many sectors, we are underprivileged. When you look at many sectors, black people actually still face racism today in America. When you look at policing, most of the policies are affecting black folks. When you look at the criminal justice system, black people are still being targeted. The white man has always been privileged. He's always enjoyed the white privilege, and he thought that electing certain leaders would make them maintain their status quo. But family, that was a lie. This time, everyone is getting to go deep and deep into their pockets to ensure that they are able to sustain life in America. Family, there's this lady in the video saying that childcare alone is very, very expensive. She works each and every day to ensure that her child, while she goes to work, her child gets care at home. It's very expensive that it even doesn't make sense for her to go to work to fund this childcare. When you look at healthcare, a lot of monies are being pumped in that sector. People are spending thousands of money in the healthcare to ensure that they can be able to get covers. And this is just becoming unbearable. Some people in the video are saying they'd rather not go to work and depend on support systems like food stamps from the government, because they see that if they go to work, get taxed, it's even does not make sense for them. You'd rather stay back, pretend you cannot work, you're miserable, and now you get food stamps and all this support that may come from the government. Family, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this video. Kindly like the video so that it can be recommended to other YouTube users. I'd really, really appreciate if you all took your time to subscribe to the channel. We are currently on the road to 50,000 subscribers. Guys, we just hit 29,000 subscribers. I do not take your support for granted. Kindly let's push it all the way to 50,000 subscribers, and I'd really, really appreciate. Thank you, and see you all in our next episode. Goodbye for now.